Hello, my dear daughters and sons. Through the Self Learning Tool YouTube channel, today we meet to discuss Geography Grade 7, Unit 2, Identity of Sri Lanka. I meet you especially with the idea of giving you the knowledge about geography, especially those who learn in bilingual stream in Sri Lanka. So when we talk about the identity of Sri Lanka, we will have discussed about the location of Sri Lanka. You know that specific location and relative location. Then cultural identity of Sri Lanka and physical identity of Sri Lanka. If it is so, from today you will be able to continue our lesson in several episodes to enhance, to develop your knowledge in geography. Especially, this program has been designed to impart the knowledge of geography to the children, those who learn in bilingual stream in Sri Lanka. So when we come to the lesson, the identity of Sri Lanka, first we will have to understand and identify what is geographical identity. දරුවනි ඔබ ද්විභාෂා වලින් ඉගෙන ගන්න ශිෂ්‍යෙක් විදියට ඔබගේ භූගෝල විද්‍යාත්මක දැනුම ඉහළද මේ අරමුණින් තමයි මෙම self learning tool කියන channel එක ඔබ වෙත ප්‍රදානය කරනු ලබන්නේ. එයින් ඔබ ප්‍රයෝජනයක් ගන්න ඇතයි කියලා අපි හිතනවා. We think that you will take the maximum benefits of that one. You follow these lessons, you give that message to your friends, and when you come to the channel, please subscribe it. It is necessary for us, and that is the help we hope to collect from you. If it is so, shall we go to the lesson, geographical identity. What is geographical identity? When you read the text, now you see on your screen, you can understand it clearly. If you find any difficulties, you write them below this video, and later, after considering that one, I will try to help you in another video program. Sri Lanka is an island located in Indian Ocean. It is not a problem to you because island is a small piece of land surrounded by water. Sri Lanka itself is an island. So further, when we go to the geographical identity, we find that Sri Lanka is located in the northern hemisphere, closer to the equator. I think equator, hemisphere, they are not difficult terms to you. As far as I think, hemisphere means the half of the sphere. That means the earth is divided into two hemispheres called northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. This division is done by the equator. Equator is a major latitude that runs around the globe. So when you come to the second point, due to the location close to the equator, Sri Lanka experiences tropical climate. You know that either side of the equator, the climate type can be seen as tropical climate. Therefore, since Sri Lanka is also located within this tropical region, Sri Lanka also experiences tropical climate. The country is located between the Tropic of Cancer. You know that it is 23.5 degrees line, imaginary line. We call it Tropics of Cancer in the northern hemisphere. And Tropic of Capricorn experience tropical climate, the thing I mentioned, because when you read, you can understand it clearly. So when you come to the next point, Sri Lanka is separated. Now we are going to talk about the location. Sri Lanka is separated from Indian landmass by a narrow belt of sea. When you go to the map, you can see it clearly. It is known as Pork Strait. Strait means narrow sea area or narrow sea belt. It is 32 kilometers wide. When we describe the location of Sri Lanka with reference to the other countries, not with the longitudes and latitudes, but with the countries, oceans located around the island, with reference to the other countries or oceans located around it, it is called relative location of Sri Lanka. Now you know that there are two types of locations in geography. One is relative location, other one is specific or absolute location. Here it is called relative location. In the relative location, we describe or we show the location of a country with reference to the other countries, oceans, or some other main geographical features located around it. Then it is called relative location. When you study the following maps, you can understand it. Here you can see the location of Sri Lanka here. Then this is the tropical region. The land area belong to the tropical region is colored with pink color. This is the equator, the 0 degrees latitude. So using that surrounding area, we can tell the location of Sri Lanka. So then it is called relative location of Sri Lanka. I think this map is clear to you. Therefore, looking at the map and keep in mind when it is necessary to recollect it. So when we tell the location and other things, you will have to recollect this map in your mind. Again, this map is also given. Here it is a closer view. The Sri Lanka can be seen here. Then the Pork Strait is there. Now you know that it is 32 kilometers wide. This is the Indian landmass. It is larger than Sri Lanka. Equator is here. This part is northern hemisphere. This part is southern hemisphere. So Sri Lanka is located close to the equator in the northern hemisphere. These islands are there. This is the Indian Ocean. So you can see that Sri Lanka is located in Indian Ocean. Australia is here. The African continent is here. And Asia is the continent. The Sri Lanka located in. Those are the things you can understand observing this map, and clearly understanding this map, you can tell the relative location of Sri Lanka easily. The relative location of Sri Lanka can be expressed in that manner. You read. I think you can read it on your screen. Asia continent is located north of Sri Lanka, and Antarctic Ocean is located to the south of Sri Lanka. Continent of Africa is located on the west of Sri Lanka, and the countries like Thailand, Malaysia are located on the east of Sri Lanka. That is how we express the relative location of Sri Lanka. Apart from that one, several islands can be found located in Indian Ocean close to Sri Lanka. They are Maldives, Andaman, Nicobar, Lakshadweep, Madagascar. It is a bit far away from Sri Lanka, but it is also located in Indian Ocean. Showing the location with reference to the longitudes and latitudes is called specific location or absolute location. Because now you have gathered the knowledge about longitudes and latitudes in earlier lessons. Therefore, I am not going to talk about longitudes and latitudes during this lesson. But anyway, when we tell the location of a place or country with reference to them or using them, that is called a specific location or absolute location. So usually when you get your paper, sometimes you may ask to explain or describe what is absolute location or specific location. Then you will be able to, and you must be able to write showing the location with reference to the longitudes and latitudes is called specific location or absolute location. Both are same. Therefore, you keep in mind that is needed knowledge. You will need that knowledge for further studies when you go higher and higher levels also. That knowledge is needed. Then according to it, Sri Lanka is located between 5 degrees to 55 minutes to 9 degrees to 51 minutes north latitude and between 97 degrees 41 minute to 81 degrees 53 minute east longitudes. Then looking at that one, you can understand that Sri Lanka is located in northern hemisphere as well as east hemisphere, because Sri Lanka is located between north latitudes and east longitudes. Therefore, when you write, when you tell the specific location of Sri Lanka, you will have to keep that in your mind. Again, you follow that one between 5 degrees to 55 minutes to 9 degrees to 51 minutes. This is minute. In singular, it is called kala. In singular, this is called ansaka. That is how 55 minutes. So between 79 degrees to 41 minutes to 81 degrees to 53 minutes, they are east longitudes. These are the latitudes and longitudes that cover Sri Lanka. Then this map shows the distribution of them. For looking at that one, you can find that these 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, they are latitudes. Then 79, 80, 81, 82, they are east longitudes. This is the map of Sri Lanka, how Sri Lanka is located within these longitudes and latitudes. Therefore, this is the absolute or specific location of Sri Lanka. You can see it on your screen. When you look at this map, you can understand it easily. You copy it down or you keep it in your mind because it is needed to tell the specific location of Sri Lanka, these longitudes and latitudes. Then we will have to focus our attention to area of Sri Lanka. Area means the area of land. භූමි ප්‍රමාණය. ලංකාවට අයිති නැත්නම් ශ්‍රී ලංකාවට අයිති භූමි ප්‍රමාණය කොච්චරද? අපි ඒක කියනවා area of Sri Lanka. The total land area of Sri Lanka is 65,610 square kilometers. Now you see that how the square kilometers is written. Underline that one and you keep in mind 65,610. That's the total land area of Sri Lanka. The length of the island is 432 kilometers from the Point Pedro to Dondra Head, and width is 234 kilometers from Sangamankanda Point to The total land area of Sri Lanka is 65,610 square kilometers. The length of the island is 432 kilometers. It is from Point Pedro to Dondra Head. Point Pedro is the northern tip, and Dondra Head is the southern tip. And width 234 kilometers from Sangamankanda, it is in the eastern side. Point to the Colombo, it is in the western side. That is the length and width of Sri Lanka. With that length and width of Sri Lanka, the total land area belong to Sri Lanka is 65,610 square kilometers. Sri Lanka has an identical boundary because not only the land area, the Sri Lanka possesses a sea area also her own. It is called territorial sea limit. Now we are going to talk about what's a territorial sea limit and what are the facilities Sri Lanka enjoys over it. At present, all the coastal states means the countries with coastal area, because you know that there are some countries, they are country locked. That means these countries are located among other countries and they don't have coastal area. But Sri Lanka is a state or country. Around it, as Sri Lanka is an island, around the country we have the coastal area. Therefore, Sri Lanka can be introduced as a coastal state. These coastal states were granted or given the right of maintaining the immediate sea area as their own property. Property means wealth. By the International Convention of Sea, which came into effect from 16th November 1994, you keep that year, month and day in your mind. That knowledge will be needed to answer your paper. You read that one. At present, all the coastal states were granted means given, because given the right of maintaining the immediate means nearby our own property, because it is given by the international agreement. Convention means agreement. It is called International Convention of Sea that came into effect. Came into effect means බලපවත්වන්න පටන් ගත්තා from 16 November 1994, keeping the day, month and year. That is very important. Accordingly, Sri Lanka has the right of keeping the limit of 12 nautical. That is how the sea area is measured, nautical miles, from coast as territorial sea. The territorial sea spreads from the coast up to 12 nautical miles. That area is called the territorial sea of Sri Lanka. Another 12 nautical miles from there, another 12 nautical miles was granted to Sri Lanka as contiguous sea. Then 12 and 12, 24 nautical miles from the coast belong to Sri Lanka. First half is known as territorial sea. Other part is known as a contiguous sea. So when you come to this map, you can see these two areas. One, you can go around that one, territorial sea. This is the somewhat darker color. It is the contiguous sea. Then you find that this area is somewhat different, because actually between Sri Lanka and India, this 32 kilometers, because of that one, this area having the separate law to divide the sea between India and Sri Lanka. This area is called actually historical water. This agreement between Sri Lanka and India. And apart from that one, other regions are covered under the International Convention of Sea. Then another part is there, larger part. It is called Exclusive Economic Zone and Pollution Prevention Zone. That is also belong to our country. Especially any pollution occurring there due to the ships or some other ways, the Sri Lankan government has the right of preventing it, going to the courts against them and taking some money to cover the damages. Like that, all the rights are with Sri Lankan government. Then Sri Lanka has the authority of controlling all these sea area as our own property. Now you can remember territorial sea, contiguous sea, then exclusive economic zone or pollution prevention zone. Those are the things we will have to keep in mind as a territorial sea, contiguous sea, and pollution prevention zone. Then another part of identity of Sri Lanka is relief. What do you mean by relief? In Sinhala, relief means Bhu Vishamatave. Relief or Bhu Vishamatave means how the surface of the land is set. Simple idea. You have to keep in mind how the surface of the land or the earth is set. Because you know that everywhere flatlands or hilly areas can be seen when you go area to area. The surface of the earth or land is different to each other. Therefore, in geography, understanding these differences, we call them relief. So, though Sri Lanka is a small island, now you know the area 65,610. This is not a very large island, medium-sized island when we compare with other islands in the world. Though it is that type of island, it is full of relief features. Different relief features can be found there. Our target here is to discuss about them and to identify them. That idea is given in the first point. You read them. I think no difficult words. Possessors. Aiti veno, adangu veno. The possessors. 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 Distincts. Distincts means can be seen easily. Kapi penena. Relief features, and you know that in Sinhala, Bhuvishamata Lakshana. Based on them, Sri Lanka is, based on these relief features, Sri Lanka can be divided into several regions or zones. So Sri Lanka is divided into 3 relief zones as you follow them. Can you read? Central hills. Second one, intermediate plain. Third one, coastal plain. Now there are 3. What are they? Central hills, intermediate plain, coastal plain. They are the main 3 relief zones in Sri Lanka. These relief zones have been divided mainly based on elevation of the land. Elevation means unnatansa. You know that land is rising up from the sea level. Based on that one, එක පදනම් කරගෙන භූමිය උස පදනම් කරගෙන තමයි this division or මේ බෙදීම කරලා තියෙන්නේ. මොනවද? 3 relief zones, central hills, intermediate plain, and coastal plain. Each of these zones possesses topographical features specific to them. Then we are going to check what are the topographical features they possess. These topographical features can be found in these zones only. That is also a special feature. We come to central hills, mountain ranges plateaus, valleys, slopes, waterfalls, gaps or passes are the major or principal relief features can be found in the central hills. Now I think even with closing your eye, you can recollect them, read them. Read again. Mountain ranges, plateaus, valleys, slopes, waterfalls, gaps and passes. They can be found in the central hills because central hills is full of these relief features. Therefore, a lot of geographers tell that central hills is a complex area full of topographical or relief features. Next, you go to the intermediate plain. Intermediate plain means the land area located below the central hills. Intermediate means in between. Then you find that it is located between coastal plain, that is the land area located next to the sea, and in between the coastal plain and the central hills, intermediate plain is located. The main topographical features can be found in the intermediate plain are plains. Plains means flatlands. Ridges. Ridges means small hills. Then residual hills. Residual means the hills which are located alone, not connection to any other highlands. Then when we come to coastal plain, we find that broad plains. Broad means palal, especially sand sheets like that. Bays, boku, lagoons, kalapu, points, tudu, islands, dupa. They are the things, topographical features can be found in the coastal plain. The geographical identity of Sri Lanka is further emphasized by the scenic beauty of Sri Lanka, because you know that from the ancient time, those who came to Sri Lanka, they have described the beauty of Sri Lanka. Some people or visitors who came to Sri Lanka compared or introduced Sri Lanka as a paradise. Paradisya. Paradisya කියන්නේ බොහොම ලස්සන තැනක්. Sri Lanka was also seen like a paradise to them. Therefore, they introduced Sri Lanka as a paradise, and that idea had been written in their journals also. The location with the natural scenes are abundant in Sri Lanka. Any part if you go, coastal side, or maybe the central hills, or intermediate plain. In anywhere you go, you find that very beautiful, eye-catching sceneries. That is also one of the most important feature can be found in Sri Lanka, especially in our geographical identity. Because now their importance is also given in the next point. They are very important in the tourism. Tourism is visiting foreign people or collecting foreign people to Sri Lanka is called tourism or tourist industry. So these tourists come to Sri Lanka to see the beauty of them. Therefore, these places with the natural beauty we call tourist attractions. Therefore, waterfalls, mountain ranges, and the forest, wild animals, especially elephants, all of them are fine tourist attractions in Sri Lanka. Therefore, annually, if there are no problems, thousands and thousands of foreigners come to Sri Lanka to see them. Not only foreigners, even the local tourists also come. You know that you might have seen, and you also might have gone in your family trips, school trips, to see them. Therefore, this natural beauty is also part of the geographical identity of Sri Lanka. This also you'll have to keep in mind. The rainfall pattern of Sri Lanka is also another identity of Sri Lanka. That's also we'll have to keep in mind. Rainfall is also a very important geographical phenomenon, because when you were in grade 6, you can remember we talked about the water cycle. There we talk about the rainfall. And in Sri Lanka, we experience the rainfall from different agents or different ways. Then you see how Sri Lanka experiences rainfall. Since Sri Lanka is a tropical country, now you know that it is mentioned in the point, Sri Lanka is located in tropical zone close to the equator. Now you know that fact. Therefore, Sri Lanka experiences higher temperature and rainfall throughout the year. If somebody asks you why Sri Lanka experiences higher temperature and rainfall throughout the year, you can tell that Sri Lanka is located in tropical zone. Not only that, within the tropical zone, close to the or within the proximity of equator. Proximity means nearness, and you can explain it in that manner. Sri Lanka is located in tropical zone close to the equator. Then you can tell it in that manner. So due to that one, our temperature is always at somewhat higher level. It is mentioned here. The Sri Lanka receives the temperature around 27 degrees to 30 degrees Celsius. Sri Lanka does not experience the clear-cut climate season. You know that, especially temperate zones of the earth experiences 4 main climatic seasons, starting with winter, then spring, after spring, summer, after summer, autumn. But actually that clear cut means clear. These climatic seasons are not found in Sri Lanka. You know that during the months of December, January, February, sometimes our temperature drops a bit, about 1 or 2 degrees only. Sometimes in some years, even that cannot be seen very well. It is not clear cut. Rainfall pattern of Sri Lanka is also unique, because actually Sri Lanka experiences rainfall throughout the year with the very short droughts or the period without rainfall. During the month of February and August, the rainfall is somewhat low or sometimes no, except that 2 months. During other months, actually Sri Lanka experiences rainfall up to a certain point by 3 agents. These are the agents. Monsoon rain. In Sinhala we call Mosam Vassa. Second one, convectional rain. Sangwahana Vassa. Third one, cyclonic or depressions. Our path, Ehemanata Vasuli Vassa. They are the 3 agents that give the rainfall to Sri Lanka. Or another way you can write, Sri Lanka experiences rainfall throughout the year by 3 agents called monsoon, convectional, cyclonic or depressions. In that manner, you can write your answers. Sri Lanka collects rainfall from 2 monsoons. Now you know that these 2 monsoons are blowing into Sri Lanka from opposite directions. One monsoon blows into Sri Lanka from the southwest, therefore it is called southwest monsoon. And other one blows into the island from northeast, therefore it is called northeast monsoon. Both of them bring rainfall to Sri Lanka. Especially southwest monsoon brings the heavy rains or more rains, and northeast monsoon brings less rains comparatively to the southwest monsoon. Intermonsoonal rains, that means when these 2 monsoons are not powerful, not active, that period is called intermonsoon period. During that period also we get the rainfall. That's the most important thing. Intermonsoon rains occur in between 2 monsoon periods. Usually they occur in the month of March, April, first intermonsoonal period, And September, October, second intermonsoonal period. Rains occur in the evening part of the day, because you might have the experience. Evening part of the day, these convectional rains occur with lightning and thunder. And sometimes heavy rains occur. People call it or refer it by different names, Godavassa, Savasvassa, Asinivassa. Like that, local names are used to introduce them. But anyway, during the above months, that means March, April, September, October, these convectional rains are powerful, and people of Sri Lanka experiences rainfall from them. And during that period, throughout the island or Divaina Purana, throughout the island, rainfall or the rains occur. Cyclonic depression rains occur during the month of October, November, December. Here also November, December is more important. In other months, actually, cyclonic or depression rains are somewhat low. Because during these 3 months, especially November and December, cyclonic rains can be seen occurring in Sri Lanka. Usually, this cyclone is a wind system. The winds is circling and blowing at high speed. They are called cyclone. Cyclones usually they are born in the Bay of Bengal due to the disturbances of air, and disturbances of air occurs due to the changes of temperature. Due to the changes of temperature over the sea, the disturbances of air occurs, and after that one they turn into the cyclone. They bring heavy rains to Sri Lanka with fast blowing wind, because due to the fast blowing wind, cyclones are so destructive. The rainfall pattern of Sri Lanka has determined the agricultural pattern, because agricultural pattern, you know that Jala Maha. Two agricultural seasons are there. They are mainly based on this rainfall pattern. Especially our paddy cultivation, chena cultivation, both are conducted based on this rainfall pattern. Therefore, our human activities, our life pattern, all of them can be seen set on the rainfall pattern of Sri Lanka. Therefore, rainfall pattern of Sri Lanka is very important. Then, other thing, the Sri Lanka has been divided into 3 climatic zones, mainly based on the amount of rainfall we receive. They are wet zone, dry zone, and semi-arid zone. Wet zone is the area that gets the highest rainfall. The dry zone is lower than that, and semi-arid zone. There are 2 semi-arid zones. One is located in Putlam area. Other one is Hambantut area. Because semi-arid zones experience the lowest rainfall in Sri Lanka. Normally, dry weather condition prevails in Sri Lanka during the month of February and August. I mentioned it earlier. You keep in mind. Usually, these 2 periods are harvesting periods, and farmers they reap their paddy harvest and the chena cultivation during that month. So, today episode is over, and I conclude here. In the next episode, I hope to discuss with you the national heritage of Sri Lanka. So until I feel that you got something through this channel, and please subscribe it and inform the message or this idea to your friends, and you get the maximum benefit of this channel, self-learning tool, and subscribe it. And if you find any problem, please send it, because when you go to YouTube, you can write your comments there. And after writing that one, we can see that what are the things needed to develop it. So if it is so, children, with the idea of meeting you again to another episode to share our knowledge, I say goodbye to you, and keep safety life and develop your knowledge while relaxing at home. Right? If it is so, thank you. watching this channel.